Friends, I welcome all of you to my new lecture session on chemistry of vitamins. So here is one let's discuss in detail about the chemistry of vitamin A. So we also call vitamin A as retinol or xerothal. Okay, xerothalmia means night blindness. So this particular chemical helps you get rid of night blindness, or it helps vision. So that's why these names. So let's go ahead and then see what is there in the chemistry of vitamin A. So the story of vitamin A started in the year 1816 when Dr. Francois realized that dogs, when fed on a diet of sugar, means without proteins, without lipids, nothing, with only sugar and water, then they grew thin and developed ulcers on the cornea, because this is one of the unique observation he made. And later on he observed that ulcers eventually perforated and the dogs died shortly thereafter. So here he concluded that health of eye needs some kind of a chemical other than carbohydrate from food. And then William Stepp and Dr. French reported that a compound in fat in milk is essential for health. And then Thomas Osborne and Professor Mendel reported the nutritional importance of fat, because several scientists have contributed to specific fields like carbohydrates and their significance, lipids and their significance, and proteins and their significance. And here they found like fat is not just needed for energy but also for health of the organism. So that is what their observation is. And then in 1918 McCallum suggested that this accessory food factor, whatever was proposed by Professor Mendel, that supported growth and eye health, be called fat soluble A. So their contributions are so significant. They also found like vitamin A and its relation to health and vigor of various other tissues in our body, not just vision, but on vision it will have no significant effect, but vitamin A does have significant influence on other tissues of our body. And later on in 1931 the Swiss chemist Paul Carrer, who has contributed significantly to the chemistry of vitamins, described the chemical structure of vitamin A. So for his discovery he was awarded Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1937. And later Professor George Wald described the relationship between vitamin A and rhodopsin in the visual cycle in 1955. So for his contributions, Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine was accorded to him in 1967. So this is the history of vitamin A. Let's see in the chemistry of vitamin A. First let us see the isolation, because isolation of vitamin A is so tough and typical, because fat content of any food material contains fixed oil, steroids, terpenes, or sometimes, as well as vitamin A. Okay, so it is a significant challenge for a scientist to segregate vitamin A without the help of chromatography. Okay, so here what they have done is they have taken liver oil, the oily portion obtained by extraction of ethereal extraction of liver tissue. Then they hydrolyzed it with alcoholic potassium hydroxide in the presence of hydroquinone, because here hydroquinone is added to avoid oxidative destruction of oil. Okay, so here because this is nothing but saponification, so upon saponification whatever fixed oils that are there, all of them will be separated. Upon saponification, saponified portion can be removed as polar entity. So non-polar part, whatever is there, the unsaponified fat contains several chemicals. So here they have taken the unsaponified fat and dissolve it in methanol and cool it to 73 degrees centigrade. So here what they observed is sterols were crystallized at this temperature, and many other organic compounds also. So simply filter it out. Thereby they could they could enrich the vitamin in the extract. So this crude vitamin was taken, and then they have gone for fractional distillation under nitrogen to obtain pure vitamin. And in another method, the unsaponified fat was taken and adsorbed it on alumina, and column was eluted with the ether and nonpolar solvents to obtain crude vitamin. So this crude vitamin was further adsorbed onto calcium hydroxide column, and then washed it with ether to obtain pure vitamin. So this is the second method, which was successful. So this is the way how pure vitamin A was obtained. Pure vitamin A is actually an yellow crystalline solid, and its melting point is 62 to 64 degrees centigrade. It is thermostable, but it is photosensitive to especially UV rays. It is oxidizable. Air oxidation is possible. Important reaction for which vitamin A is known for is Carr-Price reaction. Carr-Price reaction, right now we use this reagent for identifying terpenes, especially terpenes, where antimony trichloride, Carr-Price reagent is nothing but saturated solution of antimony trichloride in chloroform, dry chloroform actually. So when you spray it, or otherwise when you add it to the terpene solution and heat it, it will give you blue color. So that reaction is what we call it as Carr-Price reaction. Okay. So this is Carr-Price reaction. So this is the way how isolated the vitamin A is isolated, and a few chemical tests were developed. Now let's see the structural elucidation of vitamin A. What is the first step? Okay, the molecular formula. The molecular formula of vitamin A was determined as C20H30O. So here, how many unsaturations are there? 20 minus 30 by 2, H by 2, so 15. Nitrogens are not there, so minus plus 0, and then plus 1. How many? Total 6 unsaturations are there. 6 unsaturations is a big number, so many functional groups are possible. Even benzene ring is also possible. So let's see what type of structures were determined in vitamin A. So when vitamin A was taken, and the first reaction which gave significant, very good information is hydrogenation reaction. So upon hydrogenation, vitamin A consumed 5 moles of hydrogen to give a compound that is C20H40O. Okay, 5 hydrogen molecules were consumed to give this compound. So what does it mean? Let's say because here 6 unsaturations are there. So let's say if we have a benzene ring over there, then we would not have got we would not have seen this one hydrogenation reaction over here. Okay, because benzene cannot be hydrogenated. So what does it mean? There are about 5 double bonds are there, and then if you see the molecular formula over here, it will have 1 unsaturation. What that means? There is a possibility of presence of 1 ring. Okay, 1 ring. The second one is it formed an adduct with malic anhydride, because here we have 5 double bonds are there in C20. Okay, 20 carbons and 5 double bonds. There is every possibility that the double bonds can be conjugated. So to determine whether it is conjugated or not, it was made to react with malic anhydride, where they formed adducts. Okay, because malic anhydride can react with conjugated double bonds to give Diels-Alder reaction. Okay, diene and dienophile reactions are possible. Okay, because malic anhydride contains structure this one. Okay, malic anhydride, and then here we will have double bond O, double bond O, and this reacts with conjugated double bonds like this, and then it will give you an adduct. Because in case of Diels-Alder reaction, we have a diene and dienophile will be there, and then Yeah, this is it. This is the product we usually get. So this is a very popular reaction in case of terpene chemistry or otherwise when natural product chemists, when they are working on structural elucidation of lipid molecules, whenever conjugated double bond is there, the best way how it can be probed is with maleic anhydride, because it will give an adduct formation. It readily gives an adduct formation, which upon hydrolysis you will get two carboxylic acid units over here. So thereby it will become highly polar. Okay, so that is the trick here. So this is what they got. So Deal's adduct formation was observed with this one. So it confirmed that conjugated double bonds are there. And then vitamin A formed monoester with benzoyl chloride. What does it mean? Benzoyl chloride means acylation reaction. It indicated that one hydroxy group is there. And then it upon oxidation it gave an aldehyde. Upon oxidation it gave an aldehyde. An alcohol group upon oxidation OH will become double bond O. So let's say if it is a primary alcohol it will become an aldehyde. If it is a secondary alcohol it will become a ketone. If it is a ternary alcohol it will not be possible for us to oxidize that one. Okay, ternary alcohols resist oxidation. So here, because we have positive reaction over here with the aldehyde group, so this confirmed that the OH group that is present in the compound is a primary alcohol. The next one is upon ozonolysis it gave a known compound, that is xeronic acid. Xeronic acid at that time is a known compound. Here is one reaction where it was actually identified for the first time when beta enone, a natural product which was already studied at that time. Okay, beta enone upon ozonolysis it gave, actually this is xeronic acid. Okay, and here in case of vitamin A also they got the same compound, xeronic acid, upon ozonolysis. So this gave the first clue about the ring structure that is there in the organic compound, in vitamin A. So here they proposed that vitamin A can have a structure similar to beta enone, or otherwise beta enone unit can be there in vitamin A. Okay, so this is the way how, means at least up to because vitamin A doesn't have a ketone. Okay, so up to this one, this part can be there in vitamin A. Okay, that is their conclusion. And the next one is vitamin A upon Kuhn-Roth oxidation, means extensively the compound will be oxidized with KMnO4 at high temperatures, and upon distillation of the material they collect in the distillate how many acetic acid units are there. So here the number of moles of acetic acids that are obtained from the compound indicates number of CCH3 groups that are present in the compound. So here they got 3 moles of acetic acid, so it indicated that there can be presence of 3 CCH3 groups. Because they already presumed presence of beta enone group, so beta enone group contains 1 CCH3 group. So there is a possibility of presence of 2 more CCH3 groups in the chain. The next one is with the mild oxidative degradation with the alkaline KMnO4 gave 2 moles of acetic acids. So it indicated there is a possibility of presence of 2 isoprene units in this compound, because if you see a beta enone presence and 5 double bonds, and here 2 CCH3 groups are there. So all these indicated that there can be presence of isoprene units in the compound. Okay, so that gave them an idea about presence of isoprene units. So thereby they proposed that there can be possibility of presence of 2 isoprene units in the structure of vitamin A. Okay, it is only a proposal. Okay, vitamin A upon treatment with ethanolic hydrochloric acid gave a compound which upon selenium dehydrogenation, okay, which upon selenium dehydrogenation resulted in dimethyl naphthalene. Okay, dimethyl naphthalene, 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1,6 dimethyl naphthalene. 1,6 dimethyl naphthalene is possible only when upon upon ethanoic HCl reaction, if we get this compound, then only it is possible for us to get 1,6 dimethyl naphthalene. So in this way, because we already have presumed that in vitamin A structure beta enone is there, beta enone type of structural unit is there, so that is up to this one, and then we have two isoprene units are there, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3, so up to this one. Okay, so we have two isoprene units are there. So because of the observation of this one, scientists then proposed that this is the structure which can give us this product. Okay, which can give us this product. This is the structure which can give us this product upon treatment with ethanolic HCl, because when we have structure like this is like can you see this one? Okay, okay, this is the kind of reaction that is possible. So thereby you can have a bond formation over here. So in this way, ring closure is possible only when you have a structure like this. This is the way, if ring closure happens, then only it can give you upon selenium dehydrogenation this product. Okay, one methyl group will be removed, this methyl group will also go, then only you will get it, because you can remember that one. Okay, in case of cholesterol, upon selenium dehydrogenation it gives Diels hydrocarbon. Okay, so because all angular methyl groups are gone, then every ring in the molecule gets aromatized in this way. Okay, so this is the way how scientists confirmed the final proposal of the structure as this one, and then we have to confirm this structure. So this is the final proposal for vitamin A structure, beta enone part, and then we have the two isoprene units like this. Okay, so this is the final proposal. Now we have to confirm it, because every structure, when it is proposed, it has to be confirmed with the synthetic procedure. But here what they have done is they first confirmed whether their proposal is correct or not in an indirect manner. So let's see this one. In case of confirmation, they started their chemistry with beta enone, and then by using first Reformatsky reaction, they could synthesize one starting material, and then they reduced it. The double bonds are gone and ester group is reduced, and then OH group is converted to HBr. Then because here Br is there, and then here we have, what is this compound? Malic acid. Okay, so this is a simple reaction, nucleophilic substitution type of reaction, and ultimately one COOH group will be there, and then this is converted to, because COOH group is converted to COCl, and COCl, when it is treated with RMGX reagent, so you can have a ketone. This is a straightforward reaction, and again they performed second Reformatsky reaction to obtain the product, which upon successive reductions you will get this ultimate product, means completely reduced product like this. And then vitamin A, upon hydrogenation in the presence of aluminum mercury, gave the same product, So this confirmed that vitamin A structure is with the same structure with double bonds. And later on, vitamin A was synthesized by using several methods. but one of the very popular method is Isler synthesis in 1947. Okay, so here they started with the beta enone, and then beta enone was taken, and then they followed almost similar kind of protocol whatever we have seen just now. But here what they used is this unique Grignard reagent with acetylenic part over there, and then a double bond is over here. So this particular unit is developed especially for this, and then ultimately they were able to obtain vitamin A, okay, in a very good yield. So this is one of the methods people are right now using for producing vitamin A. Right now vitamin A is largely obtained from fish liver oils. Now let's see the biological significance of vitamin A. Vitamin A is obtained right now. Most of the people, they get vitamin A from beta carotene. Beta carotene is obtained from carrot as well as red color, okay, carrot as well as the tomato. So where you will find the carotene unit. So this very big unit. So when upon ingestion in the diet, when beta carotene is consumed, so it will be degraded into retinaldehyde. So retinaldehyde in the intestine. So these retinaldehydes will have two fates, okay. In one case it is oxidized to retinoic acid, all trans retinoic acid. This is required for growth, differentiation and maintenance of epithelial tissues, that is GI tract, lungs, cornea, etc. And it binds to nuclear retinoic acid receptors to achieve so many biological reactions. And retinoic acid isomerase converts this all trans retinoic acid to 9-cis retinoic acid. So this is the morphosine that controls normal development and binds to the nuclear RXR receptor and interacts with signaling pathways for nuclear all trans retinoic acid and eicosanoid receptors, and many other biochemical reactions are under control of this particular chemical. Whereas on the other side, retinaldehyde gets reduced with the help of retinol dehydrogenase to obtain vitamin A. This is required for not only for vision, it is required for reproduction, means testis and ovary health. And this is esterified with the palmitate in intestine, and it is transported to liver as chylomicrons, okay. So when you are eating, the lipid molecules, even including triglycerides, etc., they are absorbed, transported across the membrane, small intestine, and then it will be transported to liver as chylomicrons. And then this retinol palmitate is stored in liver. From there it will go to appropriate sites from there. Okay, so this is the way how vitamin A is present in our body. As I told you, vitamin A is very important for vision. So here in simple, I just present here a vision cycle where all trans retinol, it is required for vision, which is present in case of dark, okay, retinol isomerase converts that one to 11-cis retinol, okay. So this one reacts with lysine residue on rod cell membrane, lysine residue, and upon association it forms a skiff base like C double bond NH, and whenever it sees some light, means a photon can activate the bonds to convert this one to all trans, okay, kind of chemical. This is what we call it as bathorodopsin, and this activates a G protein coupled receptor, so that initiates biochemical changes in the cell. These changes are translated into vision, and then it will decay, and then loss of proton will happen, and then it will revert back to all trans form here, where meta-rhodopsin is formed. These two are high energy conformations, so this will be dissociated from the actual reactive site. So thereby rod cell is regenerated and retinol is regenerated. So this is the way how vision cycle happens in our eye. So that is responsible for vision. Okay, so friends, this is the way how vitamin A is very important for our health and vision especially. So We are at the end of the lecture. I hope friends you have understood the chemistry of vitamin A. In this lecture we have seen how actually vitamin A was discovered, and vitamin A was isolated, and it is structurally isolated. And we also have seen the synthesis of vitamin A, only one pathway, and we also have seen the biological significance of vitamin A. So friends, I hope you learned something about the chemistry and its biological significance, and I request you to please let me know if you have any doubts regarding this lecture, and you may post the doubts in the comment section, or you can message me. And I also request you to please share this lecture with your friends and colleagues. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you again with another very interesting lecture soon. Thank you for your time. See you.